Welcome back to How to Craft Fair. Today we're diving right in and we're talking about bringing a helper to your next craft fair. So as we all know, participating in a craft fair is a tremendous amount of work, and I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should consider bringing a helper to your next craft fair. Okay, so the first reason is increased productivity. With an extra set of hands, consider what you'll be able to accomplish with two people as opposed to just one at your booth from the beginning of the day all the way till the end. Think about what your load in and your setup experience is going to be like with an extra set of hands at your disposal. You should be a lot more efficient with your setup, and you'll probably be able to build out a more elaborate booth setup with a helper as opposed to you just doing it by yourself. So your booth is probably going to look better as well with a helper. So this is the first reason to consider bringing a helper to your booth. Now, the second reason is better customer service. So having a helper on hand can help you provide better customer service as you take care of multiple customers at once. Just say, for example, if there's like a long line at your booth, you can attend one customer while your helper attends with another. This kind of goes hand in hand with what I said about productivity. But at the end of the day, you want to provide a good customer experience to everybody that comes through your booth. And sometimes it might be overwhelming if you're just by yourself. So it's great to have that helper on hand to assist with that heavier volume periods during the craft fair. Okay, so now the third reason to consider bringing a helper to your booth is less stress. So running a craft fair booth can be overwhelming, especially if you have to manage everything on your own. With a helper, you can take some of that stress off of your shoulders and focus on what you do best, and that is to talk about your items, the story of how they're made, what inspired you to create them, and also to sell them at your booth. So just think of the burden that's going to be lifted in having an extra set of hands throughout the day with a helper. All right, so the fourth reason to bring a helper is loss prevention. Now, one of the unfortunate aspects of craft fairs is that shoplifting does exist at craft fairs. However, when you have a helper on hand, that extra set of eyes at your booth greatly reduces the risk of experiencing shoplifting at your booth. So again, it's loss prevention. It protects your profits. It's just a good thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind as to, why having a helper is beneficial at your booth. You don't want to make these items just to have them disappear at your booth. So keep that in mind. All right, so the fifth reason is going to be customization. Now, I understand that not every vendor offers customized items, but if you are a vendor that has customizable products at your booth, I would strongly recommend having a helper on hand because these customized orders, they're going to take time. Usually there's like an order form for them to fill out and things like that. And other customers might be coming by during this period, and it's going to leave you in a really tricky position if you're by yourself. So if you do offer any kind of customized products, I would, again, just highly recommend bringing a helper for the day. Okay, reason number 6 is going to be delegation. Throughout the day, there's going to be some pretty basic tasks that have to get done around the booth that would be great for a helper to take care of to keep you free to interact with the shoppers. So some of these basic tasks that a helper would be great for is keeping the booth tidy. So just keeping everything looking neat and clean, and also for accessibility reasons so that there's no tripping hazards or anything like that. Also restocking supplies throughout the day. So you want to keep your booth looking full as you make sales throughout the day. Your booth is going to kind of dwindle down just naturally by people picking up products and then buying them and walking out. So throughout the day, you want to keep that booth looking as full as it was the minute the event opened in the morning. And then also maybe like handling cash transactions and simple things like this. This would be a great duty for a helper to handle to keep you free to interact with the shoppers. Okay, and the 7th reason is going to be networking opportunities. So if there's a slow patch in the day, this is a good opportunity to walk around and, maybe talk to your fellow vendors and just get to know your fellow vendors a little bit. This is one important aspect of every event, and you don't want to miss out on the chance to network with your vendors because, you can establish some really like lifelong connections and partnerships and learn some things from each other and things like that. So don't forget to step away just in order to network with your fellow vendors and use your helper during a slow period of the event to get away and do this. All right, and to go along with that thought, you should step away on occasion for breaks. So again, I would, recommend picking some portion of the show where it seems to be a little bit slower than kind of like your higher volume portions of the event. Step away from your booth to accomplish a few things. You want to keep yourself fresh throughout the day, so a break is a good time to take advantage of this. Some of the things that you can do while you're away from your booth is to talk to the organizer if you need to, or if you want to, just to let them know, how you're doing. It's always nice for an organizer to hear that from the vendors. So this would be a good opportunity to talk to the organizer. You could rest your feet a little bit. If you've been standing at your booth all day, grab a bite to eat to keep yourself refreshed and energized, things like that. So don't forget to take a break, and having a helper on hand is going to allow you to do that so much easier as opposed to you being by yourself and trying to accomplish this. All right, so reason number 9 is going to be support. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, doing a craft fair is a tremendous amount of work, and there's a lot of buildup that goes into this long before the day of the show, so there's, a lot of times many months of buildup before the event. And it can be stressful, and we've touched on that earlier. So as far as support goes, it's great to have somebody else there who can kind of help with the general sense of camaraderie and just, cheering on the wins and the successes of the day and things like that. So it's great to have somebody else there who can kind of have your back, who's rooting you on, and you can get that support from. Okay, and finally, reason number 10 is fun. All right, so like I said before, there's so much buildup that goes into a craft fair, and it's a lot of work, a lot of preparation, things like that. And when you get to the day of the event, you should enjoy it, okay? It's your day to enjoy it. It's your day to shine. And, just have fun throughout the day. Make memories together with the person that is your helper, so if it's a friend or a relative, this can be like a really, really nice bonding experience as well, because it's a day that's a lot of hard work, but throughout the day, hopefully you get to experience a lot of wins and a lot of really exciting things. And it's nice to have those memories with, somebody that's close to you. So again, have fun. And I hope that you can take these 10 reasons and put it into consideration on why, you should bring a helper to an event. And just remember that if you don't have a helper, it's not any kind of a deal breaker, okay? It's not, going to be the end of the world for an event. But I hope that you can look at these 10 reasons and consider why it would just enhance the experience a little bit. So with that, I'm going to leave you with a question. What ways do you find it best to utilize a helper? Let me know in the comments below in case if I've, forgotten something during this video. And speaking of this video, this is episode number 7 in the How to Become a Craft Fair Vendor series. And if you want to check out the entire series, click on this playlist above. And thank you all so much for watching.